And welcome back, everybody. February, of course, is Black History Month, which is a great time to remember the trials and the tribulations of our African-American ancestors. And, of course, my guest knows a lot about that after she learned the history of her great-great-great-grandfather, who actually was a runaway slave, a story author Cheryl Wills shares in her book, Die Free, An Heroic Family Tale. Cheryl, thank you so much for being here this morning. We appreciate it. And what I love about this book is kind of the motivation behind writing. It's a great story about how this all came to be for you.
You know, Rob, it came to be quite by accident. Logging on to Ancestry.com, plugging in my last name, plugging in where my dad was born, Haywood County, Tennessee, up pops an amazing history that I could have never imagined.
And tell people what you discovered in this key piece of American history.
Absolutely, and it is key. What I learned is that my great-great-great-grandfather, Sandy Wills, was purchased by Edmund Wills when he was 10 years old. And he was shuttled to his plantation. He bonded with a group of 5 boys, and when they became of age, the Civil War broke out, 1863. As soon as the slaves were allowed to fight, they all ran together to go fight with the 4th Heavy Field Artillery. And when I read that, it blew my socks off, because our family had not known. They returned to Tennessee after the war was over. Mum was the word, because the Confederate soldiers, many of them, became Klansmen. So the story disappeared.
For 150 years.
For 150 years.
And just a random night on the internet came up with this incredible story.
Can you imagine? And I had it confirmed by a professional genealogist as well as the National Archives. They sent me thousands of documents, not only of my great-great-great-grandfather Sandy, but of all of the soldiers that he fought with in the Civil War. And they all double, triple confirmed each other. And I was just amazed at my family legacy, beginning with a man who purchased my great-great-grandfather. That is amazing to see the origin of a name you've had all of your life, and to learn that it was through a purchase of a human being.
And now you know what that name means,
yes.
and you come from great stock. You had a war hero
Absolutely.
that far back. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And you actually could liken it to your father as well, who passed away at the age of 38. You were very young. He obviously died as young, well, not knowing this history.
So the thing is, Rob, he fought during Vietnam, walked up to an enlistment station, 1961, almost 100 years after Sandy, and had no idea of the road that had been blazed for him. And that's part of the reason why it's so good to research your history and to know who blazed the trail for you. You don't have to live in darkness anymore. Much of the information about our families, even slave legacies, which was once unheard of to connect because of the chaotic nature of slavery, now it's available online.
And that's why you call writing this book empowering.
Oh, very empowering, Rob, because I feel like a new woman. I feel like a woman that has a past beyond my great-grandpa now. Now I can look at myself and say, if my grandpa could walk barefoot from a slave plantation and fight in a war, then there's nothing I can't do, and there's nothing I should complain about with someone who sacrificed like that.
And for folks who watch this who say, I want to find out where I come from, I want to do some research, what can everyday folks do to find out the kind of information that you did?
Yeah, you know, start with asking lots of questions of your family. And the best thing to do is to find the family that's been the most stable. My family had lived in Haywood County, Tennessee for 150 years. Before my dad was born there. So from Sandy being purchased and taken there to my dad being born there in 1942. So, you know, they were easy to trace. And when we plugged them into the national censuses, Wills came up over and over. And ironically, everyone legally married and stayed in the same town. So it was very easy.
It's a remarkable story and a remarkable book coming during Black History Month, and of course 150th anniversary of the Civil War as well.
First shots fired in April.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Cheryl, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And best of luck with the book. And the lessons here for a lot of folks in this book. Thank you,
Rob.
And you can pick up Cheryl's book. Again, it's called Die Free, An Heroic Family Tale. In stores now. You're watching World News Now. We'll be right back with more after this.